Hey guys, my lovely Aquarius. Today we're going to take a look at your love reading for November 2023. I'm a few days late and maybe even $1 short, but better late than never. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it to anyone and everyone who might like it too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comments section. And if you want to get a reading done, check out underneath this video because all my information is there and I would love to give you a reading. Please email me or hit me up on social media. Please join us on Patreon. That link is also underneath this video. Also, there's a link to my Amazon wish list. And if I remember, because I might, I will also put the name of the decks. I will put a link to each of the decks or the name, both, maybe, if I can find it, underneath this video. Okay? All right, guys, so let's check this out. My single Aquarius. So this is Aquarius who are truly single, not those of us who pretend to be, but those of us who really are. This is our card for November. Single Aquarius, your card is the Six of Swords. What a beautiful card. Look at that. She got her little backpack. That is pretty. The sun. Oh, look at the sky and the water. That is beautiful. This card says that those of us that are single are going to be moving towards better times this month. This is awesome because some of us are moving on from a relationship. Some of you guys know that I had to kick one of my favorite suitors to the curb recently. Found out that my suitor was just not suitable. Not a suitable suitor, okay? Kicked him to the curb and have moved on. So this card for me represents moving on from that. But for some of you, it could just be that you've already moved on for something and you're continuing your journey. So we're all at different places in our journey. Some of us are at the beginning, some of us at the middle, some of us are at the very end. So it depends on who you are. But the good news is that the Six of Swords is always good. It's always that you went through something and now you're getting over it, you're getting past it, you're moving on. So in November, do everything you can to move on. I'm doing a book right now. It's called After the Breakup. There's a workbook and there's also a self-love journal. I got these both on Amazon and I will put a link to these underneath the video. I did not buy the workbook, but I bought the journal and I'm doing the journal right now. Me and my best buddy do 1 page a day. So if you're moving on and you're in this pile with me, you might want to go to therapy. You might want to do self-help. You might want to just talk to friends. You might want to do other things, just whatever you have to do to move on. And notice that this person is going towards the horizon. So things are actually getting better for this person. And pretty soon they're going to be at the end of their journey. So no matter where you are in your journey, remember that eventually it's going to be over. Focus on your heart, the heart right there. Focus on healing your heart. Focus on that because it's going to be time eventually for many of us to love again. And I believe you should always love again. You should never let anybody take that from you. And so for a lot of us, that's what's going to happen. Now, some of us have an interference. This means that some of us, the problem that caused us to have to move on is that somebody interfered in our love life. So for example, maybe you were seeing someone, you were in love with each other, and a third party, maybe their baby daddy came back or something like that, third party has interfered. Their mama was talking smack about you and made the person question should they be with you or not. Those kind of things is what we get with the interference. So for those of us who just left somebody, there could have been a third party influence. Also, some of us could just like somebody that we would like to get with in the future, and maybe they're with somebody right now. Maybe somebody at work is hating on you, telling them don't get with so-and-so. The Aquarius, not all that, So some of us have this third party thing either in the past or in the present. So if that is there and it reveals itself, you can, deal with that accordingly. And some of us already know exactly what that's about. Some of us are going to move into courtship in November. So remember I said some of us are at different parts of the journey. Well, some of us are going to be courted or courting someone else this month. So like for me, even though I'm not really ready to move on, I already have several people trying to court me because I only mess with one suitor at a time. So once one suitor is moved, then the other ones flood back in. Trying to see which one can, which one can be next. So some of us are already being courted regardless, and some of us will choose to court or something along those lines. Courting is just talking to another person, getting to know them, potentially setting up things for the future. Because remember, I said we're at different places in our journey, but we're all moving on. So some of us are going to be ready, by the middle, maybe even the end, maybe even right now of November. Some of us aren't going to be ready, but we're still going to be allowing people to stroke our ego and court us. We're going to be at different places with this. But keep it playful and keep it light because we're not quite ready. As we're getting ready to see, many of us are not at the right space to actually be in a relationship. So yeah, it's cool to have fun. Yeah, it's cool to date. It's cool to see Mr. or Mrs. right now. But many of us, it's not the right time. Many of us have too many responsibilities, or we're using our energy for something else, such as moving on. So some of us are going to just need more time. But for all of us, they're telling us that, take it slow. Slow and steady wins the race. So that is for my single Aquarius. Now we're going to take a look at my Aquarius who are already coupled up. You're already married. You already got a boyfriend, already got a girlfriend. And as you can see, you guys have the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is reversed though. So let me turn it around and show it to you. I'm going to read it reversed, but I'm turning it around so you can see the artwork. So the 7 of Wands reversed, this card means to stop fighting, to put down your weapons. So if you're in a relationship and you guys are fighting, or you guys are at a stalemate, or you're irked with each other, or you're holding on to a grudge or anything like that, this card says put down your weapons. Okay? Disarm. You don't have to fight anymore. Talk this thing out. Get a relationship counselor. Do whatever it is. If it's a small thing, try to compromise with each other and work it out. But the bottom line is, this card is telling you to put down your weapons. They're recommending instead you go for some romance, baby. Go for some romance. Things might have been rocky. Things might have been tense for a while. Get your lover some flowers. If it's your, your dude, he might like flowers. I know a lot of men that love roses. But if not, get him something that he loves. I don't know your man, but you know your man. You know your woman. Get them something that they love. Get them something romantic. You know what their idea of romance is. Because everybody's different. For some of us, it's jewelry. Some of us is, clothes. This one guy told me his idea of romance was buffalo wings and french fries in front of the TV. I don't know. That was his thing. So whatever the case is, do something romantic with your partner. Put down the weapons and do something romantic. Spend a little bit of money. Stop being so cheap. Nobody said you had to spend all the money. Nobody said rack up, a huge bill or drain your savings. But buy your lover something nice. Buy him some flowers. They only, what's the most they could cost you? Depending upon where you get them from, they could be more expensive than others. But hey, splurge a little. If you don't have a lot of money, maybe do something small. Go to the movies or something. So this card is saying, don't be afraid to spend a little money on your lover, or on a little getaway, or a new dress, or some jewelry. Spend a little bit of cash. It's November. Maybe take them on a trip to see some family for the holiday, unexpected. Surprise them. Do something fun. And lastly, for my Aquarius couples, some of y'all not giving your lover enough attention. And Aquarius, I can see you being like this because we get busy. We get really, really busy. Somebody's lover was telling them the other day that she's lonely. And I was like, wow, what a profound thing for a person who's married to say to their spouse, I'm lonely. That's not good. So check and see if you're paying enough attention to your lover. Um, are you taking them places? Are you talking to them during the day? Because I know when I get busy, that's one of the first things that happens. I stop talking to people. Is your lover lonely? And vice versa, Aquarius, because this could go for you. You could not be getting enough attention from your lover. Or are you both getting enough attention, but you constantly need more, which is more of an addiction, like the card says, and all actually speaks to a different problem, codependency, or some type of emptiness on the inside. So you have to ask yourself, what role does attention play in your relationship? And are you giving your relationship enough attention? Because it could just be that the relate, like they said, y'all need to put your weapons down. Maybe y'all do need to go to therapy. Maybe y'all do need to talk to someone. Maybe y'all do need to spend time away from the kids, just the two of you. Somewhere in here in November, your relationship requires more attention. So explore where that may be and apply it accordingly to have a more harmonious relationship. Now, the last one here is for my poly couples. And this is interesting because I always tell people that my poly couples are having the most fun. And I'm like, why are my poly couples having all the fun? But not in November. Some of my poly couples are having some big problems in November. Let me show this to you, right? All right. So we're going to take a look at our poly couples. Oh, the poly couples have the Three of Swords. Now, for any of you to know anything about cards, you will know that the Three of Swords is not a great card. It's actually one of the saddest cards in the deck. It's about heartache. It's about loss. It's about sorrow. It's about people having fights, breaking up, things like that. So for some of my poly couples, this is not going to be an easy time, because what it's saying is that some of you are going to be having fights with your significant other or others. So it could be one significant other you're fine with, or it could be both of them you're having a problem with, or they could have a problem with you, or it could be more than two. I don't know. In poly couples, the numbers can be different. I know one couple, it's three of them. They all live together. So the thing is that, and sometimes they don't live together. I know another couple, there's four of them and they don't live together. So it's a lot of openness to this. But it's saying that in some of these places, in some of these couples' relationships, there's going to be some heartache. There's going to be some problems. There's going to be some betrayal. There's going to be some issues. Now, I feel like this can happen in any relationship and does. But in this particular one, you guys have got to work that out, if possible, in the most amicable way that you can. And one of the things I see here is you got to be careful about triggers. For a lot of y'all, November is going to be out of pocket because y'all going to be triggering each other. Somebody's triggering you, you're triggering somebody else. And triggers are not bad. My therapist always told me your triggers are your problem, but they're not bad. Triggers are places you're not healed. So if I say something, or if your lover says something or does something that triggers you, that just means that's a place you're not healed. That's something that has not finished healing yet. So don't beat yourself up about it. Take notice of it and work towards healing it. Now, Aquarius, if you're the one that's triggering other people, ask yourself, is it on purpose? Can you do something different? And then talk to them about how to deal with their triggers in a healthy way. Remember, your triggers, your problem. So this can be a big deal though, because triggers can lead to people walking away. It can lead to anger, all kinds of violence. So be really careful with this, because this is not how you want to deal with the situation, especially since it's so rocky. This card came up reversed. This is the trickster, right? I'm going to show it to you in the upright, but I'm going to read it to you in the reverse. This is another issue that you'll be dealing with. So, first of all, you can already imagine a trickster isn't necessarily negative. Sometimes they're actually fun. But the fact that it's reversed tells us that there's a problem here. And it says here that because it's reversed, there's going to be the possibility for unexpected change. Now, this unexpected change could actually lead to something more positive happening. For example, you remember we talked about the scenario with the three different lovers. So maybe there is a problem, maybe something does happen, maybe somebody does get betrayed, maybe somebody is triggered, but that causes the group of you, the three of you, four of you, five of you, whatever, to talk and to work through things that has been in the air for a long time. For some of you, that's going to lead to positive change. For some of you, it's just going to be straight up chaos. For some of you, it's going to be people acting childish. It's going to be stuff that's unexpected, situations that are unexpected. It could be any of those kind of things. It could be unruly behavior. It could be finding out that somebody who, has been lying. It could be any of those kind of things. So it's going to be rough, but if you handle it properly, it could actually turn out for the best. And lastly, for my poly couples, we got some jealousy going on. So in this situation, somewhere there's some jealousy. And it could be you, Aquarius, or it could be somebody in the grouping. You might not even know. You might not even know that Catherine is jealous of Bob. And you could find out in November or get hints of it. But like, wait a minute, that comment she made was kind of shady. Is she jealous? So you might figure this out this month. And one of the things I want to say about jealousy, because I talk to a lot of couples and a lot of them mention jealousy. Jealousy is normal. So don't, get this feeling inside of yourself like this is not a normal thing. It could be a disruptive thing. It could be a destructive thing too, but it's normal. Human beings get jealous. We don't we don't all get jealous. Some of us more than others, I would say. Some of us, it takes on a very negative, like vengeful kind of energy. And some of us, it's just a feeling and we get over it. So I want to put it out there that jealousy is human and not necessarily the end of the world, but it does need to be dealt with. You don't just want to stay jealous forever, You definitely want to deal with that. So if you find yourself jealous, Aquarius, or if your lover is jealous about your behavior or something like that, talk about it. Work through it like adults, if at all possible. And if these situations can't be worked out, you may have to consider maybe it's time for somebody to go. Maybe that someone is you, Aquarius, or maybe one of the group members or one of the people in the grouping, on the couple and the throuple, maybe one of them has to go, or maybe they need to separate for a little while. So don't be upset about that. And when it comes to the jealousy, don't be upset about that either. Talk about it. Understand, like, you've been jealous before too. And if it's not you and it's the other person, they've been jealous before. So be understanding with each other. And that could be one of the triggers. Maybe your lover is jealous because you're spending more time with a different lover or two other lovers or something like that. Maybe it's a thing about time. So take a look at that, my poly Aquarius, and I hope that works out, because usually you guys are having the most fun. So I want you guys to go back to having fun, my poly Aquarius. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to try to have December's love reading out on time. Cross my fingers. I hope I'll be able to, now that I'm caught up with everything else. And you guys come back soon, because I got a lot more to say. See you later.